St. Joe Ogden to Topolis to follow, but we're up in the air and we're underway. The defending state champs from Marshall with it first. The one thing, Rachel, that we will see, or maybe not see, I should say, is a lot of half court. They like to go play full court basketball.
They really push tempo. You're going to see this Marshall squad want to get up and down as quickly as possible. One thing Coach Gators was saying in practice yesterday was head up, head up, head up, yelling at her squad as they were going through fast break drills on the court. They want to push tempo. They want to get it to the rim as quickly as possible.
Brandy Hudson to inbound. She'll get it to Dejanay James. Corner open for three. Naya Zamudio. Offensive board. Put back by Dashiera Butts will not go, and the Hilltoppers will have it for their first possession. Three ball from Matoush, and there we go. That is the 7th three of the year for the 5'11 senior Sammi Matoush.
That's exactly what you want to see, and that's exactly who you don't want to leave open. If you're Marshall, she can get hot, and she can put up a lot of points very quickly.
A little bit of contact on the baseline, and Gianna Smith will step on that baseline. There's Brett Teagan. He won a state title in his 5th season of coaching, and he's come to realize, it's not all that easy. 344 wins in his 18th year at Hillsboro. Inside position and a score, and it comes from Claire Tester. The early 5-0 lead for Hillsboro. Hillsboro in the zone, denying. There's Tester in the middle of it. Second turnover of the game.
That's one thing I want to point out. Hillsboro is primarily a man-to-man type of team, but based on this matchup today with Marshall, they're sitting in that zone, and that's something that can cause Marshall problems. Sitting in that zone, especially the first 2 possessions of the game, 3 possessions, they've been able to come up with big-time stops. Coach probably feels that this is the best route. Try and get Marshall to shoot open jumpers and keep them at one and done.
In and out for Jade Scroggins. And here come the Commandos running the floor, but a travel, 3 straight trips down the floor, and 3 turnovers for the Commandos. That was Dejanay James, not happy with herself. Quick substitutions here for Marshall. Roquisha Sims will check in. She's a 5'7 junior, along with Jalen Jimenez. Jimenez also a junior at 5'6, and James will have a seat.
Marshall really wants to get up. They'll play in the full court. They'll pick you up. They're going to look to trap at certain times. Big key for this Hilltopper team is to take care of the basketball. Marshall can turn you over, and they can get up, a quick 8 points before you know it, just based off turnovers.
Pressure broken. Hilltoppers will have it. The early 5-0 lead. Here's Matoush looking baseline. Around the edge of the arc we go. Scroggins. Marshall in the zone. Jade Scroggins, one of the seniors, to the deep left corner. That miss comes off the hand of Aubrey Rubert. Michael Jones, Leroy Schulter, and Kevin Sproul working this 2A semifinal tonight in Redbird Arena. Brandy Hudson, she's a load down low when she gets going. But still, Commandos off the scoreboard. We played over 3 minutes. Scroggins will get it back to Kylie Meyer. Tester to Rupert. Marshall has missed all 4 shots from the field. On the other side, Sammi Matoush and Claire Tester, the 5 for Hillsboro, and they lead it early.
You can spend it on anything. Animals and toys. I would buy a really, really, really big house. A motorcycle. I would go to college right now. Money. Shoe. Coats or watches. Anything.
When I was looking at different universities, I didn't want to choose a campus just for football. I needed a school that offered strong academics. At UNI, I discovered a program that gave me hands-on experience and connected me with industry professionals. I gained a better understanding of what it takes to be successful in a competitive industry. UNI helped me discover my passion of meeting people and telling important community-driven stories. Discover where you belong at the University of Northern Iowa.
In a hurry but want a fresh, affordable meal to serve your family or friends? Well, Biaggi's Pronto Packs make it easy to enjoy an authentic Italian meal at home or on the go. Perfect for small groups, and starting at just $30, the Pronto Pack comes with pasta, 2 pizzas, and salad and bread with delicious Biaggi's butter for dipping. Biaggi's can take care of your large group as well with their delicious party pans. With 6 Illinois locations, Biaggi's carryout is the perfect solution for your busy lifestyle. Let's bring in Joe Brand. He's got some info on Marshall.
Dave, if you remember last year, Marshall had a 15-0 deficit to Teutopolis in this tournament. They came back, won that game in double overtime. So not only are they a resilient group, but they have experience, even though it's a smaller sample size here today.
Thanks, Joe. And that came in the semifinals as well last year en route to the state championship for Marshall. So 5-0 pales to 15-0.
Very easily, especially when you're playing against a Marshall squad like this.
Jalen Jimenez off the iron. Another opportunity for the Commandos. Claire Tester will pick up that personal foul. Tester with 13 rebounds in a super sectional win over Midwest Central. And there's the first basket of the game. It comes with the 4:05 mark. Last year in the game Joe was talking about, Marshall did not score the first points until 3:28 remained in the first quarter. On the drive through traffic, and it will go. Dashira Butts. She has 1 speed, and that is full speed ahead.
And that's exactly why transition defense is such an important key for this game. You see how hard Marshall's pushing it down the floor. They want to get it to the rim.
4 straight scored here by Marshall. We have 3:20 to play in the first quarter. Scroggins runs into Hudson, but goes high off the glass.
How about that shot?
Jade Scroggins averages about 7 points per game. She used every bit of that glass. Sims with the miss. Another offensive rebound, but they're creating a little bit of havoc is Kylie Meyer.
Check out this shot by Scroggins. She closes her eyes. High off that glass, gets it into the rim. Hey, if you're Hillsboro, you take it.
You know, a couple inches higher, and that would have gone over the backboard.
Easily.
Inside. Another offensive board. Commandos still with it. Touch glass by Marshall. So Hillsboro survives that flurry.
Survive is a perfect word. Head coach Brett Teakin was talking about this in practice. He's like, we have to rebound. We cannot give them second and third offensive rebound opportunities. They're already so good as it is around the basket. We can't let them do a number on us on the glass. 5
offensive boards right now for the Commandos. Butts, who has all 4 of Marshall's points, will get the rebound. They'll walk.
Coach Gators describes Butts as the Energizer Bunny, and I would say she's doing just that right now, wouldn't you?
Butts, 5'7", senior. She has scored. She has hustled. She's in the middle of that right there as Hilltoppers will pass out of the trap. The miss from Meyer. Rebound, Emily Reynolds. She just checked into the ball game. Her 3-ball goes for Matoush. Well, there's an offensive rebound that turns into 3 points. A 10-4 lead for the Hilltoppers. Matoush with 6 of the 10 on a couple of 3 balls. forcing it into Hudson. She will shoot 2. Randy Hudson, an honorable mention All-State selection, second team actually. 4-year varsity players. A freshman, Dorothy Gator said, she was just a scrappy kid. All she has done is worked her way here, looking for her second straight state championship. Big numbers for the senior.
What I love about Brandy Hudson is, she might get a little bit undersized, but like you said, she's so scrappy and she's so strong. She works for great positioning around the paint. Right now you're seeing Hillsboro with at least 2 people around her at all times. It's obvious that they're daring Marshall to take perimeter shots, but she's working. Pay attention to the way she's working for positioning.
She may get another shot at it here as Roquisha Sims came down with that offensive rebound. Long 3 comes out for Ashante Kaiser. She just checked into the ball game. This is a Marshall team that will go about 8 deep. On the other side, Macy Blankenship has checked in for Hillsboro. Brett Teakin will alternate his post players. Hillsboro here early, doubling it up on the defending state champs. Naya Zamudio, the steal, the drive. Can't get the spin off the board. And a double dribble on Zamudio. Up top, Zamudio, an honorable mention honors this year, started last year. Had 19 in the super sectional win over Winnebago. Marshall 2 of 10 from the floor early. We have about a minute to play here in the first quarter. Boy, Matoush wanted it. She was clapping for it. Now she's under some pressure. She has hit the top. Off the miss, the Commandos want to push. Kaiser, and that's a travel. 7 turnovers here in the first quarter for Dorothy Gator's team, and she's actually lucky right now. Her team's only down 5. Dragons will get it right back.
That's what you can't have. You force Marshall to two turnovers, unforced turnovers. You've got to value that possession if you're Hillsboro and come down and work for a great shot. Give yourself an opportunity to stretch the lead headed into the second quarter.
Once again, open is Kaiser. A dejected look in the face of the 5'7" junior Ashante Kaiser. She will leave, but she'll be replaced by Zamudio. Final 20 seconds of the first quarter. Matoush will deliver it. And it will be Emily Reynolds that will be shooting 2 for the Toppers.
A lot of coaches in that scenario might say, hey, let's pull it back, let's try and get the last shot. I actually like the aggressiveness there by Matoush. She saw a seam, a wide opening, delivered a great pass. I like the aggression from Hillsboro coming out of the jump. I really think they've come out of this game and been the aggressor. They've been the ones that have punched first. See if they can carry that momentum into the second quarter.
First free throw for Reynolds. Reynolds stretches it to a 6-point difference. Now the Commandos will rush it up the floor. Here's Zamudio. She's going to let fly. Sammi Matoush almost from 3 quarters as the Hilltoppers close out the first quarter on a 7-1 run over the defending state champions. After 1, Toppers over Commandos.
I remember over the summer, Coach Ellis coming up to me and saying, we might have a family moving here from France.
My name is Louis.
My name is Lola.
And I just moved here in Evanston 3 months ago.
Basketball has a way of holding you accountable.
That's what's great about sports, is it's about habits. You know, you're building habits.
Always.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Favorite Chicago teams at your fingertips with the My Teams app by NBC Sports. Stream the games, read articles, and more. Follow your pro teams like a pro and download the My Teams app today. An 11-5 lead here for Hillsboro after one period of play. Shooting has been a story in the opening 8 minutes. Shooting in a good way for the Hilltoppers. On the other side for Marshall, well, 2 out of 13 is not really going to cut it.
Well, and I think you have to credit Hillsboro. As we kind of mentioned earlier in the game, they're primarily a man-to-man team, but I think they're picking their poison in terms of sitting back in that zone, really with a concentrated effort on Brandy Hudson. They've really frustrated her early. Any touch she gets in the paint, she's got 2 or 3 defenders around her, and they're being physical with her.
On the glass, Marshall out rebounding Hillsboro after one, 13-6. 7 of those 13 rebounds have come on the offensive end for Marshall. Sammi Matoush trying to fight through. She is being guarded by Roquisha Sims and guarded tightly. Matoush only took 3 shots in that first quarter, knocked down a couple of 3 balls.
She was efficient with them.
He has it now against Sims. Well, they are trying to free up Sammi Matoush. Can't do it. But she finds a way. It was Nakaya Harston with the assist. Sammi Matoush, her 8th point of the game. Biggest lead at 13-5. Hudson double team. But there's Butts. Her motor does not stop. She has 6 of the 7 Marshall points.
Butts really has been the spark for this Marshall team. She's got all of their scoring, or pretty much close to all of it, and she's been really everywhere. I mean, defensively, you know, Coach Dorothy Gators wants them to get up and pressure and have energy and really get into it. They've struggled with that at times early on as they've switched to a man, which they did not start the game in. Started in a zone. My guess is Gators has them switch into that man, trying to get them to play a little bit harder.
Pick up the pace, try to force a little four-court action. Harston with a kick out to Matoush. Back to Harston. Inside, outside we go. Rupert can't get it to go. Here comes Butts. It's a 1-on-3. The super sectional win over Winnebago. Marshall is able to take rebounds such as that. Just outrace Winnebago down the floor. Hudson is fouled before she can get the shot up. She's hurting.
She's taken a beating in there so far. I mean, Hillsboro's, like I keep saying it, they're being extremely physical. She's frustrated. She keeps going up to that ref saying, like, hey, pay attention, I'm getting banged up in here.
Hillsboro coach Brett Teakin has run 3 different post players in on Hudson. Naya Zamudio will knock down that 3. 24th 3 of the season for Naya Zamudio. Makes this a 3-point game. Harston, bounce pass, tough pass in traffic. Foul called on the Commandos as Sammi Matoush was cutting through the paint. Sims picks up her first personal foul for the Commandos. Matoush gets a break. That ball looked like it was headed into the backcourt.
Yeah, it sure did.
Scroggins, tough pass in traffic, and she'll get it to Nakaya Harston.
That was a great pass there by Scroggins. She drove middle, draw the defender to her, and was able to dump it down. That's not an easy pass to that backside block. But a lot of times, if you can deliver it, that's going to be wide open.
Zamudio open from the top. Sims will win that race and battle. Good hands from Meyer. That is off by about 3 feet to the left for Kylie Meyer. Saved in bounds, and the Hilltoppers will have it. Scroggins will bury the three. Well, how about making something out of nothing? A badly missed three by Kylie Meyer, and Scroggins cleans it up for her.
This is such a relentless Hillsboro team. They're not going to be really discouraged by anything. You know, we talked about it in the open. They've had such a rough route in terms of even getting to this point right now. They're going to battle.
Hillsboro on a 13-5 run to push this lead back to 8. Roquisha Sims, Up ahead, running the floor is Meyer. She waits, she scores. And Dorothy Gators needs a timeout. Hillsboro on a 15-5 run. They have doubled up the Commandos. You need passing. You need scoring in the Class 2A semifinals, and the Hilltoppers from Hillsboro have provided just that. The assist. Scroggins inside Harston, then the three ball for the 10-point lead.
All across America, teenagers are making a difference, gaining respect, and changing the future. Here in Illinois, the future is now. 16 and 17-year-olds can now register to be organ tissue donors in Illinois. Nearly 5,000 people in our state need a life-saving organ, and about 300 people die every year waiting. Be part of the solution. Join the Illinois Secretary of State's Organ Tissue Donor Registry. Register at lifegoeson.com.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings.
With my kids and my customers,
my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
When you're visiting Bloomington Normal, the best place to stay is the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, conveniently located just off I-55 and Veterans Parkway. The Holiday Inn Express, just minutes from food and shopping, as well as the Illinois State and Illinois Wesleyan campuses. Not too close to Iowa Wesleyan, just we want to clear that up. Visit IHG.com or call 309-862-1600 for reservations. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. You talk about a team that wants it. That's what Hillsboro's doing right now.
Yeah, they want it, and they're not afraid of anything. They talked about it in shoot-around yesterday. You know, we've really embraced the underdog role. No one expects us to come in here and do much of anything, and they really haven't all year. And they've got a chip on their shoulder and something to prove. You can see them hustling. They're making the extra passes, and even with, you know, they're missing shots, they're saving the ball, they're making something out of nothing, and that's why they've got the lead they've got. They're completely taking Marshall out of what they want to do in terms of the pace they want to play at. Hillsboro's been able to really control the pace and maintain control of the game up until this point.
That was Aubrey Rupert with the save. She'll get credit for a rebound, but she should get credit for a big assist on 3 points as well. And yet another turnover. That is 10 for Marshall here in a quarter and a half. Off the hands of Harston. This is where Marshall is dangerous. From Matoush with a clean steal.
Matoush anticipated that. She went behind the back and saw it coming and was able to deflect it.
Scroggins will give it up to Reynolds. Oh, Matoush. Boy, that is tight.
Surprised they didn't call anything there.
Gianna Smith all over the All-Stater. That's a walk on Jade Scroggins. Sammi Matoush is going to have to earn it tonight. They've run a couple of different players on her this evening. So Commandos picking it up on the defensive end. Now they have to look to get something going offensively. The defending state champions in Class 2A have the lead doubled up on them. Hudson double team.
And the frustrations continue. Hudson, every time she's getting the ball down there, that trap is coming. You saw she pivoted and looked for her teammate diving down the lane, but she wasn't there. They were able to deflect it. She is extremely frustrated so far this first half. Being able to find herself at least a clean touch inside has been very difficult.
Remember, neither one of these teams have lost to a 2A team this season. In fact, we will say somewhat the same comment in our next game to Topless. We'll be playing St. Joe's. The Lady Shoes have not lost to a 2A opponent this year. And the push and the lob attempt going to Matoush, defended by Jayana Smith.
And at 5'11", that's what you can do. I mean, throw that thing up a little bit higher. She can go be 5'11" and rise up above that defender and go get it. We've seen Marshall switch to a little bit of a face guard, it seems, which isn't a bad decision considering they've gone to man. And obviously, each possession, Hillsboro is putting such an emphasis in getting the ball in Matoush's hands.
That one comes up a little bit short for Matoush. Up ahead to Hudson. And she just put her head down and went. And a charge on Brandy Hudson. And as each second ticks off this clock, you can just feel the more frustration building from the Commandos.
And that is such a frustration call, especially for Hudson. Again, she's trying to get something going. And great job by Matoush for getting there, anticipating, taking a charge. You don't see a ton of charges at this level. And that was a textbook take.
Now we've seen Matoush not only with 8 points. Here she is posting up. She'll go to the line. We've seen Matoush with a couple of threes, another basket, and on the defensive side, we've seen a clean steal and now taking a charge. She does it at both ends of the floor.
She can do it on both ends of the floor, and she can score it in so many different ways, especially with her size. I mean, at 5'11", she really is, by nature, a combo type of guard, but just like we saw in that possession there, she's able to get down on the block and use that height as an advantage, post up, play with her back to the basket, get herself to the free throw line.
Where she's 85% on the season. Matoush was second team All-Stater her sophomore year, first team her junior year. She was the #1 vote getter in the AP All-State team this season. She is shooting for her 10th point of this game. It is a 12-point Hillsboro lead at 22-10. Sims gets all the way to the bucket. Great acceleration from Raquisha Sims.
Yeah, that was a tremendous first step. Great finish. That's got to be a sigh of relief for Marshall just to get back on the board.
Now Hudson comes out and bothers Matoush. How about Brandy Hudson? She came from nowhere to disrupt that play.
But you know what? You're in the state. You're in the state. You got to be diving on the floor. You get an opportunity to secure that basketball. That's what this is about.
Matoush will take the timeout for Hillsboro. The Toppers 29-5 on the season. As we said, they survived a triple overtime game against Pleasant Plains in the sectional semifinals. Sammi Matoush, big night already for the Hilltoppers.
And it's easy to see. I mean, Sammi Matoush, you've seen it so far this game. She's able to knock it down from the perimeter. She's feeling it so far this game. A couple early threes in that first quarter. They put such an emphasis on getting the ball to her. She cuts so hard off her teammates when they've got it into her hands. And this team has been together, especially these 4 seniors, for a great deal of time since they were like in 3rd grade. So they certainly know how to play with her.
Well, that's not always the easiest thing to do, right? No matter how young you started, sometimes there's so much jealousy involved.
Not with this group.
Matoush with the rebound and score. Well, she came free underneath. She has 12 of the 24, and once again, Hillsboro has doubled it up on Marshall.
Marshall still working against that zone. See Hillsboro bringing in some size. Continuing to frustrate Brandy Hudson inside. Marshall, you know, the game plan for Hillsboro is to get Marshall to shoot it from the perimeter and keep it to one and done. The zone won't extend very far, maybe half a step outside that three-point line.
There's nothing there for them right now. Inside, Macy Blankenship battling with Hudson. Hudson comes up to get it. Nice dish inside, a left-handed pass to Dashiera Butts.
That was a tremendous pass there by Hudson. She just breathed a sigh of relief, looked at her teammates and was like, all right, let's go. She draws so much attention inside, being able to dish it off like that. It's a great look by her.
Now Marshall can make this a single-digit game heading into the locker room. But Hudson, a little bit surprised she was that open. And that travel will give the Hilltoppers an opportunity with 12 seconds to play in a half. Clock not running. They've not started the clock. Now it does. Matoush tied up. She'll get out of it. Put back, no rebound. Will end the quarter. A crazy end of the first half, but a big first half for Hillsboro, who has led wire to wire in the first 16 minutes. The Hilltoppers behind 12 first half points from Sammi Matoush will head to their locker room. They have the 24-14 lead over the defending state champions from Marshall. The Commandos struggling tonight, just 32% from the field. On the other side, Hillsboro in great shape,